Hello guys, in this tutorial we'll learn about one of the most versatile data type available in Python, which is list. So we'll cover the following topics in this video. First is accessing values in list, second is updating list, third is deleting list elements, then we'll talk about basic list operations. After that we'll talk about indexing and slicing, which is similar to indexing and slicing in strings. Then we'll talk about some built-in list functions and methods. So let's get started. So I have created a list in ideally like this. My list contains, so what is a list? List is, you can say, sequence which contains elements of different data types. So you can have data types such as strings. You can also have simple integer. You can also have floating integers like decimal integers. So here I have created a list which contains strings, integers, and floating point numbers. Then we'll press enter. Suppose we want to access first element of this list. We'll write list 0, then press enter. Here it goes. Apple comes up on the screen. And suppose we want to do this is the positioning is called basically called indexing. So the indexing starts right from 0. So Apple is at 0th position, this is at first position, second position, third position, and fourth position. So we can also have slicing of the list. Suppose we want to check from 1 to 3. So let's see what comes up. So here you go. Oranges 12 comes up. So whatever we write here, the first is inclusive and the second one is not inclusive, which means that if we write like this list 1 to 3, it will print elements of the list at second position, third position, and it will skip fourth position. So it will not print list at this position, list 3. It will not print it. Alright guys. So slicing is done. Suppose we want to remove some element from this list. So we can do so by writing del. This is a function, and we'll write list name, and then we'll write the indexing. Suppose we want to remove the element at first position. Here you go. Now I will print list. So here you see the apple has been removed from the list. One thing more we should remember is that lists are mutable, which means that we can change elements of the list without creating a new object. So we'll talk about all these things in detail, but only at this point we should remember that in list new, whenever we delete or modify, we need not create a new object. It will remove in place also. So this is one method, and we can also use remove method to remove an element from a list. So now I will talk about some basic list operations. Suppose we want to know the length of a string. So we'll write len and then we'll write the name of the list. Here you go. So it will return 4 because we have 4 elements: oranges 12, 3.5, and 28. And for example, we want to concatenate a list. For example, we want to concatenate milk, honey. We have a list like this, and we have another list like this: 2, 2 comma 4, and we want to concatenate these two lists. So here you go. We have a concatenated list: milk, honey, 2, and 4. And suppose we have a list like this, and we want to repeat it 4 times. We just have to do high into 3 or 4. 3, it will return a list which contains high 3 times. Also, suppose we want to iterate in a list. For I in, for example, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and we want to iterate this list. So we can write like this: print. What we have to print? I. And then if we want to give a space, we'll write end space like this. Okay. So 1 2 3 is printed. So this basically works as an iterator. Now we move on to basic list functions. So we already talked about length function. We already talked about this function, del function. We'll talk about few more methods and built-in functions in list. So first one is, if we want to, suppose we have a list like this: list is equal to 2 comma 4 comma 6, and we want to find out what is the maximum value in this list. So we'll write like this and it will return 6. Similarly for min, if we are writing like this, min list, it will return 2. Even if the list contains alphabetical characters, so it will sort like we have in a dictionary. For max, it will print those values which will come later in the alphabetical order. Now what we should do is, we have few more methods. Suppose we want to append something in this list. We have a function list dot append. So here we'll write the object or element which we want to append to this list. 246 is already there. Suppose we want to append 8 in this list. Now if we'll display this list, what we'll get? 2 4 6 and 8. All right, so this is the thing we got. And then suppose we want to, let me add one more number in this list. List dot append 1 2 comma 4 comma 4. Let me add this gives error. So one thing we should know, that in append function the argument should be only 1. We got a type error, so we cannot add more than one number by using this function. So we should only write, for example, we want to add to this list 2. So this is on purpose why I have added 2, because I want to illustrate one more function which is count. So this will count the number of appearances of the value in the list. So list.count2 should come out to be 2, because we have 2 occurring in this list 2 times. If we check this list, we have 2 4 6 8 2. Alright guys, and for example, if there's one more function, list dot pop, which removes an element from the end of the list. So in this list, 2 which is at the last will be removed. Now if we'll print list, we have got 2 4 6 8. And if we want to remove a number from a list, an element from a list, remove, so we'll use remove function and write value over here. So if we want to remove 4, we'll write 4 over here, list dot remove 4, which will remove 4. Okay, so 4 is removed. If we there is one more function, if we want to reverse the element in a list, we can do so by using reverse function. Now if we'll print list, we'll get 862. Alright, so these are so this doesn't mean for example, I'll show one more thing with reverse. Suppose we have this value 4 comma 2 comma 3 comma 1. So we have, if we have like this list dot, and we are using this function list dot reverse, so it comes out to be 1324. This means that reverse function just reverse the order of this list and does do not sort the list. So we should remember this in our mind that it doesn't sort the list. It only reverses the order of the list. So the last position will come at first position, second last position will come at second position, and likewise. And there is one more method. If we want to sort the list, for example, if we want to sort this list, we can write list.sort function, and if we display this, it comes out to be 1 2 3 4. Same in alphabetical order, alphabetical elements also, it will sort according to alphabetical order like we have in dictionaries. So I think I have covered few of the most important functions in list. You can just play around and find out what more functions are there, what more built-in methods are there, and what other operations we can perform on list. And remember guys, this is one of the most versatile data type in Python, and we have to learn this so as to use Python to its fullest. That's all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye bye.